So this is the Intarsia style of color work, and in this first row I've already knit 5 stitches, and I'm now going to add this pink color, and I pretty much, without tying any knots or anything, you add it and then you knit the number of stitches that you care to have in that color. And in this style you're only holding one strand at a time, of color at a time. So then there's the pink, and if I want to add the blue back, I have a second ball of blue, and I just kind of add that and knit across the row. Okay, so here you can see I have the purple in the middle, and you know, there can be a little hole in between at this point, but when you weave in your loose ends and in the next rows, that will be taken care of. So we'll turn the work, and you want to make sure that you'll be knitting with, you know, your live, I guess, live strands. And so I will, on this side, purl as I normally would until I get to the junction, and I pull that live stitch close a little bit. And so here, the way that I join this to keep this, I guess, one connected piece is I will wrap the blue yarn around the purple, kind of like so. And so then when I knit purl the first purple stitch, you see I've interlocked the blue stitch in there, so it's kind of connecting that row. And so again, you know, when switching back to the first blue, I will wrap, put the purple over, I guess, the blue strand, bring the blue up, and as I purl the first stitch with blue, you can see that the purple is kind of locked in under that blue stitch. And so in finishing this row, yeah, so now we've done, you know, the second row in this color, and the row is somewhat connected because of the way that you twist the strands in between each color switch. Okay, so, you know, your yarns will get really tangled when you do this, and you'll have to take time to untangle it, but that is okay. And so then, again, we'll do a knit side, so I'll knit like I normally would until I reach the color change, and then again I will wrap the colors around each other, so that way there is a wrapping in the middle, and sometimes you'll need to pull, but you know, you see that you'll get a connection in there in between the two colors. So when you reach the color change, you will wrap, you have to find the correct blue, you wrap the blue around the purple, so that way you have a connection. Oops. Yeah, and pulling things tight. So, you know, as I said, you have a little hole like where it starts, but that, since you're going to have a lot of ends to weave in, that is easily corrected. And here on the purple side, the hole isn't even that pronounced. And yeah, so you see you've got, you know, these rows are connected, and, you know, won't come apart. Now, if you want to increase the amount of purple, let's say we'll increase it 1 stitch on each side, I will start purling across. Okay, so I purl to the second to last blue stitch, and I want to change the stitch to purple. So I'll wrap the blue around the purple, and I will purl that previous blue stitch. and kind of pulling to keep things tight, and then purl across the row. And since I decided I wanted to increase one more purple stitch on this side as well, I will purl that previous blue stitch, and then as I'm switching back to blue, I wrap the blue around the purple yarn, so that way there is that extra join. Purl across. So, you know, I'll go back to the right side. So now here, you know, we've had this purple inserted, and it, I guess, grew one stitch on each side. And it's actually, you know, keeps the fabric more sturdy as you have color changes. When you have the vertical columns, that's when you need to be more careful with your wraps. But I will go across this row again without doing any color change. And then when I reach, or I mean, I'm still doing color changes, but with doing the same amount as I had done in the previous round. So when I did my color change, I wrapped the blue around the purple. Yeah. And the main difference here with stranded knitting is if I was doing stranded color work, I would be holding both strands of color, and one of them would be invisibly hidden behind the back the whole time. But, you know, here I'm really only holding one color at once. And so again, you know, I'll cross and wrap the purple with the blue, so that way I get a good join. Yeah, and so here, I guess, is the start of this pattern. And I dropped my needle. Oh, okay. And yeah, and so then, you know, when you want to get rid of the color entirely, I will just purl across the entire thing with blue. Here. So when you're doing a pattern with a lot of different color changes, you have to, I guess, kind of estimate how much of each color you'll need. And you can get bobbins which help keep the colors straight. But, oops, you know, everything's starting to get a bit tangled. So now I have a nice little, I guess, kind of T-shaped purple square and a field of blue. And, you know, if I was going to continue on blue for a bit, I would cut the purple yarn, and then maybe, even though it's in the middle, just kind of weave in some ends to have some less towards the end. But yeah, hopefully this helps a bit.